Hi and welcome to Logosol and today's live stream. And today's live stream we're going to talk about caring for your guide bar and chains. My name's Andreas.
Anders.
And Anders will take care of the chat and assist with some camera. Camera assistance.
Yes.
To give you some close-up shots so that you can see what we are doing. Yes, guide bar and chains. If you want to know more about Logosol and our products, please visit our homepage. Go to logosol.com and you can find all prices and more information about our products online. And you can also sign up for our newsletter. If you do that, you will receive our digital customer magazine as the first newsletter, and then we'll send a newsletter approximately once a month with some interesting information from Logosol, inspiration, and campaigns and info about new products and so on. So please do that, sign up for our newsletter. You can also visit Logosol on Facebook, where we're called Logosol Portable Sawmills, and you can visit us on YouTube, and that's also Logosol Portable Sawmills. If you go to Facebook or YouTube, you can watch our previous live streams. We've done a lot of live streams lately, so if you want to see what we've done already, please go there. If you miss something, or if you want to see a special tool or accessory or something that you don't think that we've showed already, please leave a comment down in the chat section and with your suggestions. And also during the live stream, please leave a comment as well if you have a question or anything you want to ask us, and we'll try to answer as many questions as possible during the live stream. Logosol is a family-owned business based in Sweden, in the north part of Sweden. We've been on the market since 1989, and we develop and produce and sell portable sawmills, band sawmills and chain sawmills. So let's get started. Today's theme is guide bar and chains. And since we sell a lot of chain sawmills, we think it's quite important to keep your cutting equipment up to par. First of all, there are a few different types of guide bars. And the guide bars that we really recommend are actually the solid bars. And these are two examples of solid ripping bars. This is the steel Duromatic guide bar, which is a solid guide bar without a nose wheel. It's got a carbide inlay in the top, a really robust, durable guide bar, and also very rigid. Probably the guide bar we sell the most is this Logosol solid ripping bar, which are made by Cannon Bars in Canada. Really good bars. The best bars we have, actually. And they are really, really hard and robust, and you got a replaceable nose wheel. Why do we recommend a solid bar instead of a laminated bar? That is mainly because of the rigidity of the bar and the tolerances of the groove. If you have a tight fit between your chain and guide bar, you will get the best possible surface when you're milling boards and planks with the chainsaw mills. And then we have the other part about the guide bars, and that is, of course, how to care for them properly. And I mean, we're just going to go through this really short, but one important thing to note is that whenever you replace your chain and take off the guide bar, remember to clean the hole for the chain oil so that the lubrication works as it's supposed to be. That's probably one of the most important things. And then try to remember to turn the guide bar around whenever you're replacing the chain or changing to a new chain. So that you get it like evenly, even wear on both sides. When you've had a guide bar for a while, you will notice that you will get small sharp edges right on the edge of the guide bar. It gets really sharp. And that's due to the mechanical wear of the chain going in the groove, because the links that connects the drive links actually rest on the ridges here, and which means that you will get a small wear here, and it will leave a bit of material on the edge. And when you notice that, you can use, for example, this guide bar edge file. This is a file that we sell. It's a färd edge file, and it's got an edge, so you get it at 90 degrees, or the filing segment gets at 90 degrees compared to the edge of to the side of the guide bar. I'm going to attach it to this filing vise that we have. I mean, the filing vise is normally used for chains, but it actually works very good as a filing vise for the guide bar as well. So what you do is you put it here so it's fixed, and then you put the edge file on the side of the guide bar, and you slide it and file off any edges that are sharp. It can also be that one of these edges are slightly higher than the other, and this also makes them level. So both the left and right ridge is the same height. And it can be quite tough to not to sharpen, but to file off a guide bar, since the guide bars are really tough and they're hardened. So it actually takes some work. But if you take it while it's just small edges, it's much easier than if you wait too long. And perhaps if you wait too long, you have to throw away the guide bar. So when you're done that, you can, there's one easy thing to check if the guide bar is, or if the groove is aligned, is if you put it on a flat bench, it should be able to balance on its own. If it tips over, it's normally due to one of these edges being higher than the other. And if you have some compressed air or something, just blow it clean so that you don't have any residue after you grind the edges. And then put it back on the chainsaw again. So quite easy and not something that you have to do very often. But it's good to check these edges from time to time. So, and that's I think that's the main part of the guide bar, caring for your guide bar. And you can, of course, turn around the nose wheel, feel that it's going easy, and no, you can't hear any sparkling or crackling when you move it around, since it's a ball bearing or a roller bearing in here. And then if we look at the different solutions for sharpening your chain, do we have any questions, by the way?
Not yet. See if we have some Facebook. No.
No? So most of you probably hand sharpen your chain. That's probably the most common thing to do, I guess. We mainly recommend sharpening your chain with a machine, with an electrical chain grinder, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So this filing vise, as I said before, it's actually for grinding chains, but as you saw, it worked perfectly to clamp a guide bar as well. But the good thing with this filing vise is the sticker that you have here, and that sticker actually has a 10-degree angle, and most of the filing devices that you have are 30 or 35 degrees, made for cutting cross-cut chains mainly. And these are the ripping chains, and they are 10-degree top plate angle. And of course, if you have a 10-degree, this is a combined file that takes both the raker tooth and the tooth itself. And if you put that here, you can actually look at the 10-degree angle. And it's as always when you're hand filing, it's really important to move the file in one straight line and not tilt it while you're filing the tooth. And that's probably the most common mistake if you haven't hand filed a chain before. There are many of our customers that hand files the chain, and that they are really good at it. And of course, a good hand filed chain will work really good for a chainsaw mill. But we still recommend the electrical grinder, because it's so much easier to get the correct angles everywhere. And it's really important for ripping to have the correct angles. So if you're hand filing and you're used to it, you're probably really good at it. But I would still recommend to every once in a while put the chain in a grinder, in an electrical grinder, chain grinder. So I'm not going to go into that more. This file is a 4.8 millimeter file which is what we recommend for the ripping chains we sell. Another thing is that file is a combine, so it takes the raker tooth. If you have an electric chain grinder, or if you have just a round file, this is an excellent tool. This is a raker, I don't know what it's called in English, but it gives you the possibility to hand sharpen or grind down the raker tooth. So this gives 0.025 inch. It's a depth gauge tool. So you put it on top of two teeth, and then the raker will go in the middle, and if you have something to grind off, you just take a flat file and run it over the depth gauge tool. A really good tool for this. Not something that you have to do every time. The rakers, I would say you perhaps normally take them 4 or 5 times during the lifespan of a chain. And the chain, you can probably sharpen it 35, 40 times before you need to replace it. And during that time, yeah, you have to sharpen the raker 4 or 5 times. So it's not something that you have to do every time, but perhaps when you grind away like a millimeter of the tooth, it's time to check on the raker tooth. So that's it about hand filing, I would say. Do we have any questions? No, nothing?
Questions. Everything's crystal clear.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's good. We have a grinding school. If you want to know, I mean, this is more of a basic intro information about grinding. If you want to know even more, we have a grinding school on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, Logosol Portable Sawmills, we have a school about grinding your chains. It's a video in 5 different episodes, I think, where we go more into depth, or Bengt-Olof goes more into depth about grinding and what to do and how to do it. But basically, hand filing works fine if you know what you're doing. Takes a bit more practice. If you want to get the right angle every time and you want to be successful in grinding, the electrical grinder is a great choice. So this grinder is a standard hand grinder, which you can set the side plate angle here just by moving the head sideways. And you can set the top plate angle by moving the vise here. And these ripping chains that we are grinding now have a top plate angle of 10 degrees and a side plate angle of 60 degrees. And this grinder, I've actually equipped this with a Cbn grinding disc right now. This is how it looks like. So it's a steel disc with a Cbn coating. And it's really, you can feel it's quite heavy, so it gives it's more balanced in the machine. And since it's already pre-shaped, you can use it right away, and it will keep the form for a long time. Compared to a stone disc, which you actually have to shape yourself from the start by using the profile stone that comes with, or should come, with every grinder you buy. It comes with this one that we sell, and it also comes with the automatic grinder that we sell. It's a must-have tool because you use it first to shape the disc so that it's got a nice radius to it that fits the gullet of the tooth, or fits in the tooth. And you should always use it between every second chain sharpening session you do, to take away the metal, the residue that gets stuck in the grinding disc when you're using it. And that's actually something that you don't need to do with these CBN discs. So I've put the CBN disc on this one. I've set the chain up so that I have the angle, the top plate angle 10 degrees and the side plate angle 60 degrees. So I move it to the back of the stop. I lock the chain in position so that it can't move. And then I go down with the grinder, with the grinding head. And then I move the next tooth in position. So now we're doing the right teeth all along. And then we work our way around the chain. So unlock, move to the next tooth, lock, and then with a light touch, go down with the grinding head, with the disc. And to remember where you started, use a pen and just mark the tooth that you've done. And when you've gone all the way around, the only thing you need to do is to change the the top plate angle to 10 degrees the other way around. And then you take the tooth on the other side. So it's really easy, and you get the exact angles all the time. And remember to use this stone to clear the debris or the residue in your stone disc, and use it to shape your disc so that it gets the correct shape according to the type of tooth you're sharpening, grinding. Do we have any questions?
No, I think you just answered it with the degrees there.
What kind of?
Yeah, if you can change from 10 to 30 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that grinder works for every type of saw chain. If we look at this grinder, this is our automatic chain grinder, or half automatic, because it only, same as the manual sharpener, it only takes one side at the time. But you set it up the same way. You set the top plate angle here. This one can also take cross-cutting chains and ripping chains from 0 to 35 degrees top plate angle. And you can also change the side plate angle. It's driven by 12 volt, so you can run it off a car battery. Comes with these car battery clamps. And it can sharpen chains 0.325 inch, 3/8, and 3/8 pico. You cannot sharpen 0.404 chains with this one, since the stroke on the feeding arm isn't large enough. And to start grinding with this one, or sharpening, set the correct angles and move the correct tooth that you're going to start grinding. And in this case, it will be the left or inner tooth we're going to start with. And just start with the feeder without running the grinding disc. And do your settings. You have the depth setting up here, and you have the lengthwise setting here. So just adjust them until you see you're really close to start, so it just touches on the edge of the tooth. And then we can start the grinder, and we can make the final adjustments if you want it to take more or less. And if you want to stand here and supervise the machine, we can do the same as on the manual grinder. We can just mark the tooth that's been ground, and we can wait until it goes around, or we can put a stop clamp here that follows the chain around, and then when the stop clamp comes here, it will stop the machine. So when you've taken one side, the machine has stopped. You take or move the outer right tooth in front of the feeder arm, and we change the angle to 10 degrees the other direction. And we start with just feeding and see that it's okay. We start the grinder. And if you put the stop clamp on the chain, it will stop automatically when the chain is done. So that way you have sharpened both the teeth on the left side and on the right side. What to watch out for is chains that don't have... if you have the drive link count on the chain and divide it by 4, if it's an even number, you will have the correct number of left and right teeth. If it's not divided by 4, instead you get a decimal number, you will have 2 left teeth or 2 right teeth after each other. And in that case, you need to start and stop the chain on that particular tooth, or where they are next to each other, and handle them separately. So, but every other chain, and you take the drive link count, divide it by 4, and you get an even number, or you get a number that's not the decimal number. you know that you have a chain that have that are equally spaced with the left and right teeth. And that's the different types of grinder that we have. And as I said before, we really recommend grinding your chain with an electrical grinder like this, because the result is much better than grinding manually if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, if you're good at grinding or sharpening your chain manually, you probably get a very good result. But it's good from time to time, even though, to grind it in a grinder like this. That was a 12 volt. You can also equip this one with the Cbn grinding disc if you want it to be a bit more, to not do that much maintenance on the grinding disc itself. With this disc that the stone disc, you need to take care of it quite often to clear it from residue, and also to reshape it so that you have a nice round shape to it that will go down and make a nice looking tooth. I don't know if you heard the difference, but listen to the sound with the stone disc. You can hear that it's a bit less balanced than if we start a grinder that has a Cbn disc, the steel disc. It's a complete different sound to it. So the Cbn discs are very well balanced, and they have more weight to them as well. So it's a different sound when you use them. And so we've took care of our guide bar. We have sharpened our chains. And one thing to note, when you have a chain that's really smooth, like this one, it moves along nicely between the drive links. It's very easy to sharpen them in the machine. If the chain has been laying for a while, and you can feel that it's stuck between the drive links, it's really hard to move, and the drive links get stuck like that. You shouldn't sharpen them in a machine like that. You should, probably what most people do if they have these chains, if you take a chain off your chainsaw, you should clean it right away. That's the easiest and best way to do it. But if they've been lying around for a while, you may need to put them in a bath of some kind to get away the chain oil and everything that gets stuck between the drive links. And when it's easy to move like this, it's really easy to sharpen them on both the automatic grinder that we have and the manual grinder. And when you've sharpened your chains and you took care of your guide bar, once again make sure that the hole for the oil is clear. And preferably you can use something like this, which is a kind of a spray oil, which is really sticky. You can actually spray that in the groove, put on the new chain, And that's only because when you put the new chain and guide bar on your chainsaw, it will take some time before the chain oil goes out in the bar and starts lubricating the chain and bar. So just to give it that extra time without having it to be like steel against steel, to give it some sort of protection, you will actually save the guide bar and chain by doing that. You can put some sticky oil into the groove before you put it there the first time. Did I forget something?
No, I think you have everything.
Think we covered everything?
Yeah. We have no questions. So it
No
must have
questions, so we must be pretty clear.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Anders Mattsson has a question. No,
Just looking.
just looking. Yeah, but in case you don't have any questions, we're happy that you watched and hope you enjoyed this. If you do have questions, please put them in the comments or send us an email or give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer the questions you might have. If you go to logosol.com, you can find the contact details for Logosol, and you can also find the things we have been showing here online where you can purchase it. The automatic grinder is awesome, and since it's 12 volt, it works everywhere in the world as long as you have a 12 volt battery. The chain grinder, the manual, is a 230 volt 50 hertz machine, so that one only works in Europe. The filing vise can also be found at Logosol. And of course the guide bar and chains that you need to run your mill successfully. We have them as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please go to our webpage and look for our future live streams. We'll be presenting the schedule for August and hopefully September soon. We will keep having one live stream a week on Mondays, most probably. One in Swedish and one in English. Yeah, that's it.
Good.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.